Let's take a look at the grid positions for today's race. It's Trident in pole position then, and it's Dennis Hauger in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Pourchaire, Deruvala, Enzo Fittipaldi, Novalak, Martins, Cordial, Behrman, Jack Doohan, Vachon, Awasa, Kushmini, Frederick Vesti, Leclerc, Maloney, Hadjar, Juan Manuel Correa, Benavides, Boschon, Crawford, and Roy Nissany completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's get down to the track. It is the Formula 2 race. It is time to introduce you to Alex Brundle. I'm Alex Jakes, and we've got changeable weather out there today. That's making for some nervous team personnel down in the paddock, down in the pit lane.
There are going to be some quivering hands on the tyre guns, aren't there, when they tighten up what could easily be the wrong specification of tyre completely for the conditions. It's a gamble out there.
Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. Damage to your front wing, damage to your front wing. Suggest we box to change it. Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals.
The Indian driver will look up and see the checkered flag first. Jehan Deruvala takes the win.
When you're in a title fight, you've got to drive so calmly, and that's exactly what they've done.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be MP Motorsport picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the feature race tomorrow, so make sure you... Welcome. Here is the grid for today's race, which will be starting shortly. Teo Porcher has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and it's Jan de Ruvela in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Behrman, Iwasa, Dennis Hauger, Doohan, Martins, Fittipaldi, Verschoor, Arthur Leclerc, Miney, Hadjar, Clermont Novelak, Frederick Vesti, Carrière, Crawford, Maloney, Brad Benavides, Boschon, Nissani, Cordial, and a Trident rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. Hello one, hello all, and welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes, he is Alex Brundle, and we have changeable conditions today, Alex. How does that uncertainty affect the strategy?
Well, uncertainty is what strategy is all about, but it absolves the teams from the responsibility of running both compounds of tyre. They might have to use that wet tyre, of course, and then the question is, where do those crossovers lie?
Back of the grid's not what we're aiming for. See if you can make up a few places at the start. Okay, you've got front wing damage. This will have a major impact on performance unless you box for a new one. Okay, we've been given a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race. Get your head down and let's get it done. Okay, let's go now. Come on. That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. Watch out for understeer in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as quickly as you can. Push, push. Okay, mate. Right, we've got some clear track in front of us, so let's make best use of it and make the next lap a quick one. You got this. smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target, mate. Need to slow down before hitting the corners. We don't want to get a penalty. Final lap of the race, final lap. Right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
It's a... And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the MP Motorsport team, and I'm very happy to see them up there on the top step of... It was great having you with us for this weekend. I hope you enjoyed it as
What happened? Let me know you're okay.
It's time to leave for now, but we'll be back tomorrow when the feature race gets itself Monaco. Formula 2 has been welcomed back to this most famous of race locations, and the excitement in the air is building as we count down to the start of today's race. The Circuit de Monaco is, for all practical purposes, pretty much unchanged since its 1929 introduction. It's strange to consider, but this 2.1 mile lap will take the drivers here around almost an entire country. 19 corners, but not that many opportunities for overtaking. Instead, this is a track that rewards technical skill. As the engineers make their last inspection of the cars, let's take a look at today's grid order for the race. Victor Martins lines up on pole position, with Jehan Daruvula alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Pourchaire, Dennis Hauger, Mein, Vesti, Carrière, Cordial, Ollie Behrman, Doohan, Fittipaldi, Ayumu Awasa, Zane Maloney, Hadjar, Novalak, Vachon, Jack Crawford, Benavides, Boschon, Nissani, and a Trident rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. It is the Formula 2 race. It is time to introduce you to Alex Brundle. I'm Alex Jakes, and we've got changeable weather out there today. That's making for some nervous team personnel down in the paddock, down in the pit lane.
There are going to be some quivering hands on the tyre guns, aren't there, when they tighten up what could easily be the wrong specification of tyre completely for the conditions. It's a gamble out there.
We're going to struggle for a... I'm afraid you've been given a time penalty for that last incident, mate. Engine off, engine off.
Victor by name, Victor. ART, the French team who have been... And after all that excitement, I think it's time for... The grid is set then. That just leaves the race itself. Join us.